season and in this moment, that you might hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to.
For decades, Bishop T.D. Jakes stood as a towering figure of faith, resilience, and inspiration. His voice echoed through churches, televisions, books, and conferences across the world, offering hope to millions who leaned on his words during their most difficult seasons. To many, he was more than a pastor. He was a spiritual father, a counselor, and a symbol of unwavering strength. That is why subtle changes in his presence sparked such intense concern. What began as quiet observations soon grew into widespread speculation, fueled by love, fear, and unanswered questions. This story is not just about rumors or health. It is about leadership, sacrifice, vulnerability, and the emotional bond between a global congregation and the man they believed would always stand strong before them. A leader who became a global symbol, Bishop. T.D. Jakes was never just another preacher. Over the years, he built the Potter's House into a global movement that transcended traditional church walls. His sermons reached living rooms across continents, his books topped bestseller lists, and his conferences filled arenas. People didn't just listen to him, they trusted him. He spoke about pain, perseverance, fear, and faith in a way that felt deeply personal. Many followers credit his words with helping them survive grief, addiction, broken marriages, and spiritual doubt. This deep emotional connection is what made later concerns so intense. When someone who has carried others through storms appears unsteady, it shakes more than faith institutions. It touches hearts on a personal level. Bishop Jakes represented consistency and strength for decades, so any hint of change felt significant. His leadership style was powerful yet compassionate, making him feel both larger than life and intimately present. That balance is rare, and it's why millions felt personally invested in his well-being. Subtle changes that sparked concern. The earlier signs were easy to dismiss. A slightly softer tone in his sermons, longer pauses between words, and slower steps across the stage didn't immediately set off alarms. Supporters initially attributed these changes to age, travel fatigue, or the natural slowing that comes after decades of work. However, longtime followers began noticing patterns. His once booming voice sometimes sounded strained. His movements seemed more deliberate. For those who had watched him for years, these differences stood out. They weren't dramatic, but they felt unfamiliar. Faith communities are often deeply observant of their leaders, especially those who have been consistent for decades. These small shifts planted seeds of worry. People began asking quiet questions among themselves, wondering if something deeper was happening. The concern wasn't rooted in gossip, but in genuine care. When someone who has always appeared strong begins to change, even subtly, it creates unease, especially when no explanation is offered. Absences that became impossible to ignore. As time passed, the concern deepened. Bishop Jakes began missing events he would normally never skip. Conferences, appearances, and engagements that once defined his relentless schedule went on without him. These absences were particularly noticeable in the years following intense global challenges, when people were craving stability and reassurance. Social media users began pointing out dates and events, comparing calendars and sharing observations. The questions grew louder. Was he resting, or was something wrong? Silence from official channels only intensified speculation. In the digital age, absence speaks loudly. When a figure as visible as Bishop Jakes steps back without explanation, People fill the gaps with their own theories. Some believed he was simply exhausted after decades of ministry. Others feared something more serious. The lack of clarity created emotional tension among supporters who felt both worried and powerless. Redefining strength and vulnerability, the family's transparency shifted the conversation from fear to understanding. Bishop Jakes' health challenges were not presented as weakness, but as evidence of sacrifice. For years he had prioritized others over himself. This reframing resonated deeply with supporters. Many found comfort in knowing that even spiritual giants face limits. Vulnerability in this context became a form of strength. By acknowledging his need for rest and healing, Bishop Jakes modeled wisdom rather than failure. This moment challenged traditional expectations of leaders being endlessly strong. It reminded people that faith leaders are human too. The narrative moved away from scandal and toward compassion. For many, this made Bishop Jakes even more relatable. His journey mirrored their own struggles with burnout, stress, and the difficulty of slowing down. A necessary pause, not an ending. One of the most important clarifications from the family was that this season was not about retirement. It was about rest, healing, and recalibration. Bishop Jakes was not stepping away permanently, but taking a necessary pause to protect his health and future. This distinction mattered deeply to his followers. It offered hope without denying reality. The idea of a pause resonated with many who struggle with guilt when slowing down. His story became a lesson in sustainability. Leaders cannot pour endlessly without replenishment. This pause was framed as an investment in longevity, not a retreat. While questions remained about how long this season would last, the reassurance helped calm fears. It allowed supporters to shift from anxiety to prayerful support, trusting that rest was part of the journey. Sarah Jakes Roberts steps forward. As bishop, Jakes stepped back. His daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, stepped more fully into leadership. Her increased visibility sparked a mix of emotions. Many felt inspired by her confidence, authenticity, and spiritual depth. Others felt uncertain, wondering if anyone could truly fill her father's role. Sarah brought her own voice and style, appealing to a new generation while honoring the foundation her father built. Her leadership symbolized continuity rather than replacement. This transition highlighted the evolving nature of ministry. Leadership, once centered on a single figure, began to feel more shared. While comparisons were inevitable, Sarah's presence offered hope that the ministry would continue growing, even during change. This shift invited the community to embrace a broader vision of leadership, a ministry adjusting to change. The Potter's House itself began adapting. Guest speakers became more frequent, schedules were adjusted, and responsibilities were redistributed. These changes subtly reshaped the church's atmosphere. Sundays felt different, charged with both anticipation and uncertainty. Members wondered what the future would hold. Would Bishop Jakes return fully? Would the ministry look the same? These questions lingered, but they also created space for growth. The church learned to function without relying on one voice alone. This period tested the resilience of the community. It also revealed the depth of the foundation Bishop Jakes had built. The ministry did not collapse, it adapted. That adaptability became a testament to his leadership legacy. A broader conversation about leadership, Bishop Jakes' health journey sparked a wider conversation beyond his own ministry. Pastors and leaders from around the world began speaking openly about burnout, exhaustion, and the hidden pressures of leadership. His story became a mirror for many who felt overworked and unsupported. It challenged the culture of constant availability and self-sacrifice. In this way, his personal journey sparked a collective awakening. Faith communities began re-evaluating expectations placed on leaders. The idea that rest is not failure, but faith, began gaining traction. Bishop Jakes' experience became a catalyst for healthier conversations about balance, boundaries, and sustainability in leadership roles. A legacy still unfolding, the story of Bishop T.D. Jakes' health is not a conclusion but a turning point. It reshaped how people see him and how they see leadership itself. He is no longer viewed only as an untouchable spiritual giant, but as a man who has given deeply and now needs care in return. That humanity has strengthened his legacy rather than diminished it. His influence continues, not just through sermons, but through the example of choosing rest and healing. Whether he returns fully to the pulpit or continues guiding from a different role, his impact remains undeniable. This chapter reminds the world that even the strongest leaders must pause, and that doing so can inspire faith in an entirely new way